Hello, Kat.
Hey, you guys. Hey there. Hey there. As promised, we are back. We are back. We are back. Listen, today and every Wednesday, we are spotlighting course crushers. Okay, so let me cut this off. I'm double talking myself. All right, so we are highlighting your fellow course crushers on Wednesday. And listen, if you want to be highlighted, you can do so as well. All you have to do is send us an email, kat@katthecoursebuilder.com. And you too can be sitting right here in the same spot as Carnella Adjacent. All right. So she is one of your fellow course crushers. So you guys are in for a treat because she teaches folks how to ensure that their course idea, product ideas are going to work and that they are that they're sustainable, that they're validated. We talk about that a lot. We talk about that in the Course Crushers crew about validating your ideas. So Carnella, please, without further ado, introduce us, give us your name, and tell us what you teach.
Yes, so my name is Carnella Jackson, and I am a creative technologist. So you might ask, what is a creative technologist? So basically, I am a technologist that works in the space of software and hardware and design. And so what I teach typically is how to create digital as well as physical tech-enabled products to clients. And not only how to create them, but how to make sure that your customer, if it actually fits a customer need or a market fit. So that's what I teach, basically.
Okay, so in other words, you're teaching us how to know if there's really a market for the product or service that you're putting out there.
Absolutely, because a lot of times people have an idea about a product and it's just an idea, but it hasn't been vetted. They don't know necessarily who the client's going to be or who the customer base is, or if someone really even likes the product. And so instead of spending a lot of time, money, and resources creating the product before you actually vet it and make sure the idea is a good one, I teach the whole process of validating those ideas prior to creating the product.
Okay, very good. And so, a lot of times, people just kind of want to rush out there and put something out there because they're thinking, I have an idea or I have a theory about what people might want and how they might want it. So can you talk a little bit about the importance of, like you just said, vetting those course ideas, vetting those product ideas before you actually launch it?
Yeah, it's really important because, nobody has time to waste money, resources, and putting it into an idea that's just an idea and that hasn't been vetted with people who will actually use it. Most products that are successful solve a problem. They're a solution to a problem or a needs fit. So you have to make sure that you are aligned with what the needs are of your customers, what problem your product is actually solving, and then make sure that it's addressing those issues so that you pretty much setting yourself up for more success in the end. If you're not serving a need or you're not fitting a need or you're not serving a client base that already exists, that's waiting and ready to start purchasing your product, it's a longer haul to actually have success with your product.
Okay, very good. Welcome back, Coach Chandler. Nice to see you, honey. Welcome back. Welcome back. So we're talking with Carnella Adjacent and Jackson, right?
Yes.
And she's talking about how to ensure that your creation is actually going to be successful. So, Carnella, give us a little bit of background on you. How did you get into this whole space of product creation and validating ideas and that sort of thing? Tell us how you got into this.
Yeah, so I previously worked in executive level, management level at Ernst & Young, Capgemini, as well as Oracle in the tech space. So I was always working on international related implementations, working with SAP, which is an enterprise level application, working globally. So I worked here in the United States, I worked in Europe, I also worked in Montreal and Toronto, Canada, and I did a lot of work with implementations, major implementations for major companies, where we were actually implementing e-learning products, enterprise level software application products. And I just wasn't happy with the creative process of that. I'm a naturally creative person. And so just the kind of corporate-y environment for me just wasn't as, it was kind of stifling in terms of my creativity. And most times when you're creating an enterprise level application, there's really no creativity involved. It's really about, you know, how do you help us sell more products, basically, for most companies. And so for me, I wanted to do a little bit more of the design aspects of that, making sure that it's human-centered, and I'll talk a little bit about that later. But so I actually left my corporate job. At the time, I wasn't sure exactly, you know, at the time, this whole creative technologist was not a thing. And so I had my children, and was still kind of pondering what I wanted to do. And I knew I wanted to be still in the tech space, but I wasn't sure exactly where and how I wanted to fit my skill sets. I had been doing the same work that I wanted to do. It just wasn't in the right capacity that I wanted it to be in. And so did some work for some small projects here and there with other smaller businesses, where I really got a chance to actually do what I wanted to do. Really enjoyed that process of that creativity process, where we do some ideation work, come up with a solution for a problem. You know, we did some design work, did some wearable technologies in that, Internet of Things, kind of staying in that high tech space. And I really enjoyed it, thought, okay, I'm never going back to corporate in this capacity again. So that's how I got started.
Okay, great. So I heard you say a couple of words that were a little bit Greek, Chinese. So I want to break it down, because I think it's really, really important work that you're doing with helping entrepreneurs and businesses to figure out, you know, whether or not their businesses and their creative products and courses and things that they're thinking about doing, if they're actually going to be validated. Because I always say that it's all theory until somebody pays you, right?
Absolutely. Yeah.
So it's all theory until they pay you, right? So what you do, it sounds like, is shorten the length of time and that space for figuring that out. And so that they're jumping out there, but they're jumping out with an educated theory on what their product or service is, as opposed to just sort of jumping out there.
Yes, absolutely. When I mentioned the word human-centered, and that may be one of the Greek words you're talking about. And human-centered specifically just means that we've given your idea an opportunity to actually be tested and vetted with other human beings, and that the way in which your system works, whether it's an application, software application, or a mobile video game, or a learning course, or even a wearable technology, that it's actually been tested and vetted with people who would actually use that particular product or service. So that's what that means. The other piece of that that you mentioned, in terms of, you know, shrinking down and making sure that you're able to get very niched in the area of, is this product viable, is we do something called, we develop a minimal viable product. And that's usually referenced as an MVP. And so basically what that is that we create your prototype, which is your MVP, and with the least amount of features, so that we can get it in the hands of your particular users, so that they can then test it. So say you had a course that you were thinking of implementing and launching for a particular group, and the course, you didn't have all the particulars, the bells and whistles of the course, but you had some basic understanding of what you wanted to convey to your learners. Or say you had a wearable necklace that you wanted to create. So we would get it to the bare minimal, maybe 4 or 5 features, 4 or 5 different topics if it was a course, that people would actually be able to resonate with, and take them through some test runs, get some feedback with a questionnaire or survey, so that you can get more data, more information to then implement and validate and improve upon with those new vetted resources from them for the next round. So for the first version of your product, You would take just your own ideas, then get some users to actually test it and vet it. Then you would get the feedback from them. And then some of that feedback would make sense, some of them wouldn't make sense. That feedback that does make sense, you would then add that to the feature base, and then we would then implement it again. So that people can actually, so it's about trial and error, test and then retest until you're able to get the right product in place as quickly as possible. And that's done in a sprint fashion. So it's not done like over months and years of time. It's actually done in a very short period of time, like, 5 days, 3 days, a week, 2 weeks, so that you're able to actually get your product out faster to the market.
So how long would you say that process is? Like, I know that people want to go ahead and put something out quickly. How long would you say that vetting process should take?
Yeah, well, the vetting process itself, it depends on how well you are capturing the information from your users. And so let's say you have a software application that you've developed, and your users are going to, let's say, a landing page where they're actually able to test out the application. Are able to put data in, get data out, track information, and then they're able to also provide feedback for you. That usually takes about a month or 2 months time frame, so that you can get as many users as you can to test it out and then vet that. Once you're able to get that information, then you're able to use and kind of massage the data to find which of that information is valid and makes more sense for you to then add to the next release for your product.
Right. It sounds like what you're saying is, just because you're not launching, just because that doesn't mean that you're not executing. Executing can also mean the testing process, getting out there, making sure that your idea for your course is going to be acceptable to your audience at that time,
Right.
So,
and yes, you're absolutely right. We even we even have clients who we urge them when they have whether it's a software application or a video game or even a course to vet their idea, to get people to actually pay for their product in the vetted state. You can actually get clients to actually start working with, just like I know many of you have had experiences where you had an app and it's like 99 cents, but you have very few features, and then if you pay the $2.99. Then you get, many more features. Well, you can do the exact same thing with your product, whether it's a course, or whether it's a wearable, or whether it's an application, and of course an app. You can do the exact same process, the same business model, because you're able to vet the product, making sure that it has all the features that you need. But you're also able to actually bring some revenue in to help you with the cost of paying for the next version of it.
Okay, fantastic. So what would you say would be, like, if there was one thing you could tell people who they think they're ready to launch their course, they think they're ready to put out their membership site, their ebook, the things that they're doing, what's the one thing that you would say they need to check for before they put it out there?
I would say you really have to check to see if what you're creating is directly related to something that people will purchase or people can find value in. If people don't find any value in what you're creating or developing or delivering to them, then the chances of you likely profiting from that or even adding value is very slim.
Yeah,
you have to make sure that you're solving a problem or you're giving value to somebody. Yes.
Right.
For value.
And that value is directly related to, like you were just saying, the problem that you're able to solve for them. And I would also say, I don't know what you think about this, but I would also say how quickly you're able to help them solve that problem.
Yes, absolutely. So because you said one thing, so certainly it would definitely be the quickness, because in this day and age, everybody is out. You have to get quickly to the market as fast as you can. And one way, like you said, is to add to that is to get quickly to the market, is to actually do it as fast as you can. So you don't want to sit on your idea or do analysis paralysis, because you're going to miss a golden opportunity for yourself the longer you're not out there in the market. So that's why we are really advocates of getting your product out there even before you've finished getting it perfect.
I think that is such a valuable nugget right there, because I wrote an email just this morning about staying on course and not worrying about being completely perfect.
Yes.
So I really love what you're doing, because you're showing and you're helping folks to go through that testing period. We all have to go through that testing period. How to do that, still be executing, and the fact that, just like you said, you don't have to be perfect. You just have to start executing on your idea so that you will know, one way or another, so that you can improve upon the value.
Yeah, and I heard someone say once to me that perfect is too late. And it's like, it's so true, because, the people that are going to really help you make it perfect are your customers, is that customer feedback. But if you're working the vacuum to get it perfect just by yourself alone, or just you and your teammates, you're really doing your product or your course a disservice, because the people who are really going to help you get it perfect is putting it out there to the people who are going to be using it.
I really, really love what you're saying, because so many times, folks come to me and they're like, Kat, should I release this course? And I'm putting this course together, and I'm thinking about these ideas that I have. And yeah, you can come up with a theory. I don't know if in your space they call it a hypothesis or not.
Absolutely.
You can come up with a hypothesis based on the information that you have as to what kind of course people are going to want, how they want it, what modules and lessons need to be included in that course. So it's all theory until they buy, right?
Absolutely.
So it works. Like what you're saying too is put it out there for your people, and don't be afraid to get their feedback.
Yeah, you should welcome your feedback. I mean, it really should be really half-baked. I mean, we've been trained to think that, I know I've been trained growing up to think that if something's half-baked, you certainly don't want, people to actually see it. But in the space of products, in the space of whether it's a course product or an application or any type of technology product or digital product, you have to put it out there half-baked, so that the people who are going to be using it are going to be the ones really to help you to shape it, to make it complete. You cannot do that. You cannot possibly do that by yourself. It's the users who are going to do that for you.
So listen, we've been joined by Trinette Stanford. Welcome, Course Crusher. Thanks. We are talking to your fellow Course Crusher, Carnelia Jasson, and she is an idea specialist. In short, that is what she does. She helps folks to vet their ideas, anything from courses to products, all of that, to help you come to that conclusion. But I would say that at the end of the day, it's all about that execution.
Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. You have to be okay with letting things go in an imperfected way. That's what will lead you to success.
And that could be kind of hard for us, right, Carnelia? As moms, as wives, like we're constantly trying to make sure that everything is perfect, right?
Right. Yes.
Yeah, but we try to take that same philosophy into our business, and
Yeah. Yeah, it works with certain things, but when you're talking about a product and getting the product out to the marketplace, it really works the opposite, because the actual feedback, that's what's going to make it really the way you want it to be. And again, it's really about your customers. At the end of the day, it's not about you. You may have a particular color or a scheme or a feature that you like, but you may find that the customers that you're serving don't like that. And so you have to adhere to your customers and not necessarily what you personally like and are attracted to.
And that's a hard thing to come to, right? Because, especially as business owners, we're in control of pretty much everything.
Yep.
And until we realize that it's really our clients, our customers, the people who are following us, who are really in control, we have to follow their lead.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, you see that with even the major brands like Apple or even Amazon and Google, where, they come up with a product and then some people don't like certain features. It doesn't make sense. and then they come out with another release that, where that particular feature is no longer there because they've gotten that feedback that says that, most people don't necessarily like that particular feature. So, and you have to listen to your customers because they're the ones who are purchasing your product.
Right. So tell us how we can learn more. You've got a book out, right? You've got a book that we can learn more about how to, properly bring our course ideas to market and that sort of thing. So tell us about that.
Yeah. So yes, I have an ebook out. You can get it at carnellaajasin.com/products, and I think Kat's going to include that link somewhere. But the book is actually helping you to go through the 5 steps to validate any idea that you might have. So your idea may be a course that you're actually developing. Your idea may be a tech product, meaning an app or a video game, or even a service. A service can actually be vetted through those 5 validation points that I'm actually outlining in the book. And so that book will allow you to actually go through the process to kind of vet your idea, and then it's time to execute. Like Kat said, you really can't get away from that. And I wouldn't spend too much time an over-analysis and over-vetting, over-validating before execution, because execution is really where the gold is for you.
Yeah, because sometimes when you say that over-validating, right, that's really kind of our excuse to sit on it and not execute.
Yes, it is. It really is. And I've been there too. I've also had the same issues myself. So I'm with you. I'm like everybody else. I have to say, to my team, okay, guys, I'm going to just put it out there and I'm going to leave it alone. I'm going to go and, go to Publix, go food shopping or something, because I'm not going to, continue to keep myself held to it being perfect. And I also have to do the same issues and do the same things as well. So we have to try to, even if we have a partner or somebody on our team that can help us to kind of get away from that kind of perfectionism, we need to engage that person and ask them for help if we need to do that.
Okay, awesome. So here's what I've done, Carnelia. I have pulled up your page. You guys can head on over to carnellaajasin.com/products. All right. And this is where we can learn more about her book, 5 Ways to Tell if you have a viable product idea. That's fantastic. So can you use this this formula that you have here for validation? Is this also appropriate for courses?
Absolutely. It's for courses. It's for even a service. It's for physical products, digital products. We've also even used the same methodologies for service-related companies as well.
Okay. So great. So this is going to give us a good start, right? For bringing our product in, sort of a checklist, right, of what we need to look at to see if your digital product is a viable idea. And I think that for $12.99, that's a small price to pay to get, that peace of mind to know that, hey, I'm on the right track.
That's right. And also, if you're interested in learning more about just product development in general and the processes of product development, different types of products you can develop in whether it's a digital space or a physical space, I also just launched a blog that you can also follow as well, subscribe to.
Okay, fantastic. How do we get to your blog, Carnell?
The blog is actually Chimerical. That's CHIMERICAL .mindcatalyst.com. It's CH, yes, dot, yeah. Dot Mindcatalyst with a K. Mindcatalyst with a K. .com.
Okay, I'm gonna get it right. I promise.
Yeah.
All right, Chimerical. I love that name. Chimerical.
Yeah. Chimerical just means it's just just being wildly and uninhibited creativity. That's what it means. And so,
I love that.
Yeah, I chose that name because I thought when people are creating new courses or new products, whether it's digital or physical, we do need to be creative. We need to be wildly creative and uninhibited. We have to not really be necessarily concerned with being perfect or being concerned with other people think in terms of our ideas. The craziest ideas are the best ones.
Yes. Well, I love this. I love this. So this is where you guys can go to learn more about creating ideas that work. shamiracle.mindcatalyst.com. Okay. So listen, you guys, we have been joined here by Carnella Ajasin, who is an idea specialist, right? She helps you take your ideas and turn them into viable products. And so we are so happy to have you as part of the Course Crushers crew, and that you decided to come on in and tell us more about what you are teaching folks. And so we really appreciate your time in doing that, Carnella. And listen, you guys, if you want to be sitting right here where Carnella is, telling us about your course and what you teach, send us an email, all right? cat@catthecoursebuilder.com, so that you two can come on over. So Carnella, tell everybody one last time how they can reach out to you on social media.
Sure. I'm at Mind Catalyst. That's my company. But so I'm at Mind Catalyst. That's MIND. And then KATALYST.com. Or I'm at Mind Catalyst at Instagram. Actually, on Instagram, I'm at Hello, I am Mind Catalyst. Or on Instagram, it's mindcatalyst.com. Facebook is mindcatalyst.com. And Twitter is at Mind Catalyst as well.
Okay.
Or you can also reach me at Carnella Ajasin, and that's everywhere as well.
Wonderful, wonderful. So thank you so much for joining us again. Thank you, Course Crushers, for coming in and supporting your fellow Course Crushers. I can't wait to see you guys again so that I get a chance to spotlight another one of you guys and the wonderful work that you do every single day. All right.
My pleasure. Thank you so much. My pleasure.
You're more than welcome. Everybody have a fantastic rest of your day, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye.